what you want. Come feel this sensation. Sliding smooth and low like a secret invitation. So smooth. Every tone whispers soft. Can you feel it? The undertow. Pull me closer, baby. You know where I wanna go. Ooh, feel it, baby, nice and slow. Ooh, yeah, I let your rhythm consume my soul. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, listen to my sweet surrender. Now that feels so soft, I know, so tender. Let your body sway, baby, my voice has you gliding. Feel it, whispers in your ear, feel the thrill as they're colliding. Steamy tone, sultry breeze, oh, it's got you mesmerized. Follow the sound, darling, I'll touch you where it tantalizes. Ooh, feel it, baby, nice and slow. Yeah.
Drop that bass. Coming in hot. Ladies and gentlemen, Dictionary Diva.
You like what you see, baby? Elmo's a man now.
Elmo gets me every time.
What are we tickling on, Elmo? When you get that one in the mail, what do you tickle?
No, he was supposed to get 2 testicles.
2 testicles. I got it.
2
Yeah.
test tickles.
2 test
Uh-oh.
tickles.
Uh-oh, what happened?
What happened?
No, he didn't get 2 test tickles.
Oh.
That's why I said, uh-oh.
Oh. I was like, huh? What?
Huh?
Well, to continue on with the
Ooh.
saga. It's a saga now.
Dun, dun, dun,
Good
dun,
tender
dun,
meat.
dun, dun.
It's now to the
Ooh.
Tender Games.
Oh, it's a
Tender
Chris
game.
Isaac song.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Ah,
Mm.
Tender Games. Chapter 1. Fresh meat.
Mm.
The hum of drills and the faint click of metal echoed across the unfinished walls of the tendered table. Each sound sharp against the stillness of late afternoon outside. The last rays of sunlight filtered through the bare windows, throwing long, honeyed beams across the cement floor. Dust motes danced lazily in the air, floating like tiny sparks, remnants of the work in progress. Kate wiped her hands on her jeans and leaned over the battered work table, eyes narrowed in concentration. The blueprint stretched wide beneath her palms, paper curling at the corners from the overuse.
Mm.
Kate,
If we could pull the cold station down by 2 feet, we open up a clear shot to the pass.
she murmured, trailing a finger along the line.
It keeps the flow tight without bottlenecking during a rush.
Nick stepped in behind her, close enough that his breath tickled her neck, and rested one large hand on the table beside her. The heat of him, solid and familiar, seeped through her skirt like a brand.
Smart.
He said, his voice a low rumble that always made her knees weaken.
But are you factoring in extracurriculars?
Kate turned her head, arching a brow.
Extracurriculars?
Nick's mouth quirked.
You, me, late night, low lighting, maybe a little Miller High Life, and some overtime.
Kate rolled her eyes but couldn't suppress the smile tugging at her lips.
Oh, we are running a restaurant, Nick, not a brothel.
I don't see the problem. I mean, can it be both?
He teased, sliding his hand from the table to brush her lower back, fingers skimming the waistband of her jeans.
I mean, what's the point of opening a place called the Tender Table if no one's getting...
The door swung open with a
Tender.
bang that cut like a butcher's knife. Am I interrupting foreplay? Is this your idea of foreplay? Kate jolted, turning to face the intruder, and froze. Framed in the doorway was a man she'd never seen before, but damned if he didn't look like trouble in all the right ways. Tall, broad-shouldered, with dark, unruly hair, and the kind of smirk that suggested he got away with things he absolutely shouldn't. His sleeves were rolled up, exposing forearms laced with intricate ink, and his stormy gray eyes gleamed with amusement as they raked over the both of them. Nick groaned, rubbing a hand down on his face.
I'll have to be Volstorm for a
No.
moment. Or you can.
Yeah. Jesus, Liam. Miss me. Liam strolled in, the kind of swagger that made it clear he knew exactly how much space he took up and liked it that way. His gaze flicked to Kate, lingering just a second too long to be polite. Who's this delectable distraction? Kate's cheeks flushed, but she stood her ground.
Kate, co-owner.
Liam's grin sharpened. Co-owner, lucky Nick. Nick stepped in, his tone wry but tinged with warning. Kate, this is Liam. We worked together a long time ago. Worked, Liam echoed, laughing as he raked a hand through his hair. That's one way to put it. You left out the part where we ran the hottest kitchen in Chicago for 2 years and nearly killed each other in the process. Kate folded her arms.
Sounds cozy.
Down the hall came a familiar voice, sharp, amused, and slightly exasperated. Go ahead, Diva. That's the other one.
Yeah, Justine.
Justine.
I'm gonna make her redneck today. Kate, did you move my...
Justine rounded the corners, skidded to a halt, eyes going wide as they landed on Liam. Her entire body went stiff. As did
Oh,
part of
hell.
his.
Oh, hell no.
Liam's smile widened into something wolfish, his eyes glinting like polished steel. Well, 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 look what the wind blew in. Justine's hands went to her hips, her dark hair gleaming under the sunlight.
What in the fuck are you doing here, Lamb?
Liam sauntered closer, that easy, arrogant swagger never faulting. Well, looking for a fresh start of a lucky reunion.
Reunion my ass.
Justine
That's
shot
the
back.
point.
Through her eyes flashed with something hotter than any anger.
You burned that damn bridge a long time ago, son.
Kate's gaze bounced between them, heart thudding at the electric tension filling the room. It was more than history, it was heat. The crackle of something dangerous and thrilling, and it made her pulse race. Liam tilted his head, locked on Justine. Always did like some of the way that you talk dirty to me, okay? Justine rolled her eyes, but a faint flush crept up her neck.
Still full of shit.
And you, Liam drawled, turning his gaze back to Kate. Far too gorgeous to be stuck with these two degenerates. How about I buy you a drink or just get you out of this construction zone? Kate blinked, caught between flattery and disbelief.
Well, you're laying it on a little thick, aren't you there, mister?
Oh, you ain't seen nothing thick yet, darling. Liam's grin was pure in sin. I don't believe in subtlety, not when there's something worth savoring. Well, Nick stepped in again, his tone tight.
All right, Liam, enough. You didn't answer a question. What the hell are you doing here?
Liam spread his arms, mock innocence written all over his face. Looking for work. Heard you're opening the hottest new spot in town. Figured I'd come and offer my services. Okay. Liam winked. Oh, sorry, Justine snorted.
Please. We don't need another ego in this kitchen.
Liam winked. Oh, honey, I'm not another ego. I'm the ego. Igor, too. Kate couldn't help it.
Yes, master.
Yes, master. Helped the laugh that bubbled up, half nerves, half genuine amusement.
Wow. Do you not ever not flirt?
Not when I'm awake, Liam replied smoothly. He moved closer, trailing a finger along the edge of the blueprint before meeting Kate's eyes again. So, what's on the menu? Nick crossed his arms, his jaw tight.
Hard work, long hours, and none of your bullshit.
Liam's eyes danced with mischief. My favorite kind of foreplay. Justine threw her hands up.
Jesus H. Christ. He hadn't changed.
Nick sighed.
Nope. But even though he's not able to do anything else, he can cook.
Kate glanced between them, the tension in the room thick enough to slice with a cleaver. Her heart was hammering, her skin was warm, and her instincts screamed that bringing Liam into this mix was a terrible idea. But damn, it already felt so right. She arched a brow at Liam, and her voice smooth as butter.
All right, hot shot. You want in. Show us what you've got.
Liam's smile turned downright filthy. Baby, I've been waiting my whole life to hear those words coming out of your pretty mouth. And with that, the games officially began.
Wow. Hello, Liam.
Wait until you get to chapter 2. It gets worse.
Oh my. I can only I'm so excited. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna do my avatar. Okay. The next morning, the tender table buzzed with a low-level chaos as deliveries rolled in and the kitchen crew bustled around unboxing crates and checking the inventory. The warm scent of fresh bread mingled with sharp citrus and the deep, primal aroma of raw meat. Pots clattered, knives flashed, and tension hummed in the air, more than the usual prep day nerves. At the center of it all was Liam, sleeves rolled up, a fitted black t-shirt clinging to his chest as he unpacked a crate of heirloom tomatoes, like he was stripping down something far more sinful. Kate couldn't help from the watching from the pass, eyes narrowing as she clocked the lazy smirk tugging at his lips. He knew he was being watched, and he was playing it for all it was worth. Nick, just a few feet away, was slicing into a massive, primal cut of beef with practiced precision. Jaw clenched tight as Liam whistled tunelessly.
So,
Liam drawled, glancing over his shoulder at Kate.
what's the game plan, boss lady? You want to just stand there admiring the view? Or are we putting these tomatoes to work, baby?
Kate felt her cheeks flush but stood her ground. Who gets to be Kate?
Well, you do such a good job with Kate.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking bruschetta to test the sourdough. Heirloom salad with balsamic reduction and a fresh tomato compote for tonight's pork special. Liam arched a brow, eyes glinting.
Classic. You like to keep it simple first. Then we get more complicated.
Justine breezed in, hair swept up in a messy bun, her apron tied tight around her curves. She grabbed a prep knife and rolled her eyes.
God, do you ever not flirt? It's like watching a dog hump a leg.
Liam's grin widened, unbothered.
Sweetheart, when you're working with these here ingredients this fresh.
His gaze flicked from the tomatoes to Justine's chest, lingering just long enough to make her lips twitch in irritation.
You gotta savor every inch.
Nick let his knife hit the cutting board with a heavy thud.
Why don't you focus on the food, Liam?
Liam gave a mock salute.
Nope. Sure. Yes. Oh, yeah.
And the next hour was a whirlwind of activity. Liam moved fast, his knife skills sharp and precise. But there was a cocky edge to everything he did. Every slice, every sizzle in the pan. Kate found herself torn between wanting to throttle him and something else entirely. At one point, he leaned across the line to grab a bottle of olive oil, brushing a little too close to Kate. His voice was low and meant just for her.
Careful, Red. Staying too close and I might rub off on you.
Oh, Kate smirked, not missing a beat. Oh, pretty sure I'd need a tetanus shot after that. From the other end of the kitchen, Justine barked out a laugh.
She's got your number already.
Oh, I like her number.
Liam quipped, slicing into a blood orange with quick, deft strokes. Juice sprayed across his forearm, and without
forehead.
thinking, he licked it off with a slow, exaggerated sweep of his tongue. Kate's stomach flipped, and she busied herself wiping down the prep station, absolutely not looking at Liam at the way Liam's biceps flexed as he worked. That tomato. Nick's voice broke through the rising heat, low and unmistakably firm.
We're here to work, not play.
Who says you can't do both? Okay.
Liam shot back, still grinning. He plated a perfect bruschetta and slid it toward Nick.
Here, taste my work. See if I'm worth your kitchen space.
Smells like boys from Thailand.
Nick grabbed the plate, eyes locked on Liam's. and took a slow bite. He chewed thoughtfully and then set it down with a short nod.
Not bad.
Not bad.
If you
Damn.
Liam
man.
laughed,
You know
shaking his head.
Come on, you know it's good. You know it's so good. Put it in your mouth.
Nick's eyes flicked to Kate, who was watching the exchange far too closely, and his jaw ticked.
well, we'll see if you can keep it up all day. I heard you only last about 2 minutes.
2 minutes all you need. Damn. What you talking about?
Justine sauntered over, grabbing a piece of bruschetta off the tray.
If he keeps talking like that,
She said around a mouthful.
I might keep him up all night.
Liam choked on a laugh, coughing as he gave her a slow once over.
You keep teasing like that, darling. We're going to be having a real problem. It's going to get messy in here.
Justine winked, licking tomato off her thumb with a slow, deliberate lick of her tongue.
Promises, promises.
Kate groaned, half amused, half exasperated. Okay, guys, that's enough. Seriously. We've got a soft opening in a week and a ton of work to do. Focus.
I doubt it's going to be that soft.
Oh, but as Liam winked at her and Nick muttered something under his breath, Kate had a sinking feeling that focus was going to be damn near impossible. By mid-afternoon, the heat in the kitchen wasn't just coming from the burners. Every touch, every glance seemed to cackle with, or crackle, could have been cackling, with something unsaid. Kate ducked into the walk-in to grab fresh greens, and before she could step back out, she felt someone behind her, close, too close.
Ooh, relax, Red. It's just me.
She turned to find Liam standing there, the cool air swirling around them as the door shut softly behind him. His eyes roamed her face, lingered at her lips, his voice low and intimate.
I gotta say, you're hell in the kitchen.
Kate swallowed hard, her pulse skittering. Oh, I work hard. Oh my goodness. Liam's hand braced the wall beside her, leaning in just enough to make her breath hitch.
Yes, right, Red. But I bet you play with it when it's harder. I mean, harder. You don't like it soft, I'm sure.
For one electric second, the air was thick with possibility. Kate's eyes flicked to his lips, and then the door slammed open. Justine stood there, eyebrows raised, a smirk tugging at her mouth.
Am I interrupting something juicy?
Kate shoved past them both, her cheeks burning. We have work to do. Liam's low chuckle followed her out.
To be continued.
Justine stayed behind, glancing at Liam, eyes gleaming.
Careful, chef boy. She's taken.
Liam's grin was slow, wicked.
Doesn't mean I can't have a little fun.
Justine arched a brow, stepping close, their faces inches apart.
You keep pushing,
She murmured, her tone teasing and dark.
and you just might get burned.
Liam's smile didn't falter.
Baby, I live for the heat and every other cliche.
By late afternoon, the kitchen had settled into a rhythm, but the undercurrent of tension was impossible to miss. Every moment seemed charged, like a live wire sparking just under the surface. Kate stood at the center station, stirring a simmering pot of rich tomato sauce, the fragrant steam curling about her face. She was hyper-aware of Nick behind her, his hands working expertly over a rack of lamb. Yeah, he was. And Liam, circling like a predator, dropping little quips and catching her eye whenever Nick wasn't looking. Justine had settled into the role of playful instigator, flitting between Kate and Liam like a spark on gasoline. Wow. Every word out of her mouth designed to push buttons, and it was working.
Hey, Red.
Liam called, sliding a tray of marinated steaks onto the prep table.
What's your policy on taste testing? You like it raw?
Kate's spoon clattered against the pot a little too hard. She turned slowly, giving him a look. Depends on who's offering. Justine snorted, biting her lip as she diced shallots at lightning speed.
Careful, Kate. This one definitely thinks he's a 5-star cut.
Liam placed a hand on his chest, feigning offense.
Oh, you wound my darling, but you're most wrong. You're not wrong.
He locked eyes with Justine, a slow smile curving his lips.
I'd say I'm a rare find. I like it raw dogging. Most people just can't handle me.
Justine shot back, her tone dripping with challenge.
Most people don't want to.
Nick slammed a butcher's knife onto the cutting board, the crack echoing through the kitchen like a warning shot.
Enough talking. We got a menu to finalize.
But no matter how sharp his tone, the flicker of jealousy in his eyes was unmistakable, and Liam caught it.
Relax, boss.
Liam said smoothly, stepping close, too close, to Kate under the pretense of handing her a tasting spoon. His voice dropped just for her.
Don't tell me you're the jealous type.
Kate snatched the spoon, her eyes blazing. I don't do jealous, she said crisply and dipped the spoon into the sauce, licking it clean in a way that made Liam's jaw tighten. Justine, watching the whole thing, gave an exaggerated sigh.
Jesus. Someone turn the fan on before the health inspector shuts us down for steaming up the kitchen.
Nick shot her a look but said nothing, focusing hard on his chopping. Still, Kate caught the way his knuckles whitened around the handle of his blade. His blade. Interesting.
Sure.
His blade.
His
Yeah.
blade. Yeah.
Totally.
His blade.
By early evening, the prep was winding down, but the heat, literal and otherwise, was only ramping up. Nick had disappeared into the back to cool off, in more ways than one, leaving Kate, Liam, and Justine alone at the line. Liam leaned back against the counter, peeling off his apron and wiping his brow with a slow, deliberate swipe. His t-shirt clung damply to his chest, and his eyes glittered with something dark and playful.
Well,
He drawled, stretching lazily.
gotta admit this place has potential. But I think we all know the real magic isn't in the food. Isn't that right, little ladies?
Justine arched a brow, stepping closer, her arms folded under her chest.
Oh, enlighten us, Casanova.
Oh, it's chemistry.
Liam said smoothly, his gaze raking over Kate first, then Justine.
You can have the best ingredients, the sharpest knives, but if them sparks aren't flying,
He snapped his fingers, the sound sharp in the air.
it all falls flat like a. Never mind.
Like
Kate-
them pancake titties.
Kate tried to roll her eyes, but her pulse was betraying her, hammering in her chest. She crossed her arms, standing her ground. Well, chemistry is only useful if you can control it. Liam's grin was wicked.
Oh, sweetheart, some things aren't meant to be controlled.
Justine.
That's why I always have to wipe the seat whenever I'm done.
Ew. Ew, ew, ew. I'm supposed to lift that up.
Well, that is lifted.
Thought you said lick it up.
Ew.
Oh.
Ugh.
What?
Lick
I thought this
it
was America.
Lick it up. Now you got Kiss song stuck in my head, damn it.
Yeah.
Justine stepped in then, close enough that Liam's smile faltered, just slightly.
And some things
She murmured, her voice low and teasing.
burn out before they ever get good and hot. Right, Minute Man?
The standoff was thick with tension, an unspoken dare hanging between them. Kate's breath caught as Liam leaned in, brushing a lock of hair from Justine's cheek, his fingers lingering just a beat too long.
Wanna bet?
Justine's eyes gleamed, lips curving in a smile that didn't reach her eyes.
Oh, honey.
She purred, stepping back and grabbing her knife, spinning it deftly in her palm.
I never lose a bet.
Lorena Bobbitt?
Dang, girl. Kate let out a shaky laugh, cutting through the charge in the air. Oh, okay. Break it up, you two. We've got a restaurant to open, not a soap opera to act out. Liam chuckled, turning back to his station, but not before throwing Kate a look that promised unfinished business. Justine winked at Kate as she passed.
I'm just getting started.
You are, Justine.
I bet you are, Justine. By the time Nick returned, the kitchen was clean, the food prepped, and the energy barely held in check. Kate caught his eye, her gaze softening. Are you okay? Nick wiped his hands on a towel, jaw tight.
Yeah, I just needed some air.
Liam strolled by, clapping Nick on the shoulder. A little too hard to be friendly.
No worries, man. We keep the place just standing, buddy.
Nick's eyes locked on his, dark and dangerous.
For now.
The kitchen Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The kitchen fell quiet for a beat. Then Kate broke it with a bright, too loud laugh. All right. Let's call it a day before we all kill each other. But as she gathered her things, the weight of Liam's gaze on her back and Justine's smirk told her the real heat was only just beginning.
Oof. And it does.
Volstrom.
Chapter 3 After Hours and Power Plays. It was nearly midnight when the soft clink of a wine bottle broke the stillness of the tender table's dim kitchen. The place had long since been scrubbed spotless, but tonight wasn't about work. It was about unwinding, or at least that was the plan. Kate leaned against the prep counter, swirling her glass of red, her eyes bright with the buzz of the day. And, okay, the wine. Justine perched on a bar stool, one leg crossed over the other, lazily sipping, her eyes flickering between Kate and the two men with undistinguished amusement, undisguised.
I still can't believe you. Wait, I still can't believe I let you talk me into this.
Nick grumbled, but his eyes were tugging up at the corners. His forearms flexed as he poured another generous splash of wine into Liam's glass. The gesture not nearly as begrudging as his words. "Oh, please," Justine drawled, grinning. "You're loving this." Liam raised his glass, eyes glittering under the warm lights.
Too damn fine first day into making this place legendary.
They clinked glasses, Kate lingering just a moment longer when hers met Liam's before taking a long, indulgent sip. "Okay," Justine said, setting her glass down with a little thud. "Let's make this interesting." Kate narrowed her eyes, already wary of the glint she recognized in her friend's gaze.
What are you plotting?
Justine grinned wide, wicked. "A dare, chef's challenge style. We each have to make a dish fast, dirty, and sexy as hell. And the losers have to take a shot of whatever horrifying liquid is in that dusty cabinet over there." Liam laughed, running a hand through his hair.
Shit, that's your idea of fun, you crazy broad.
"Oh, honey," Justine purred, sliding off her stool and trailing her fingers around the counter. "You have no idea." Kate glanced at Nick, who was shaking his head but already rolling up his sleeves.
Are you in?
Nick gave her a look that was pure heat.
And if you are, well then,
Liam drawled, pulling open the fridge with dramatic flourish.
let's see what we got to play with. Whipped it out.
"Whip it out, ladies." They scoured the pantry and coolers, grabbing whatever caught their fancy. Berries, cream, herbs, dark chocolate, spicy sausage,
Ooh.
figs, honey, and melons. The laughter was loud and teasingly relentless, and the wine flowed a little too freely. Kate was halfway through whipping cream with fresh vanilla when the lights flickered, and then, with a sudden pop, everything went dark.
Whoa. Ooh.
Kate yelped, dropping her whisk.
Oh, what the hell?
Seriously, did we just blow a fuse?
Nick muttered, setting down his pan.
Nope.
Liam's voice floated through the darkness like a bad case of the clap.
It's a full-on power outage. I guess the storm earlier knocked something loose.
Well, Justine said smoothly, somewhere near the counter. Looks like we're really cooking in the dark now. A beat of silence, then Liam's deep chuckle.
Oh, this got really interesting.
Kate felt her way to the counter, breath coming quicker than she wanted to admit. The dark felt intimate, wrapping around them like velvet, every sound amplified. Somewhere nearby, Nick's roughened voice cut through the quiet.
Is everyone okay?
Oh, fine.
Kate said, her fingers brushing a cool metal bowl as she steadied herself. Never better! Justine's voice was lower, sultry, closer than expected. Could get used to this kind of heat.
God.
There was a shuffle, the sound of Liam moving closer, his breath brushing past Kate's ear as he spoke.
I bet you didn't know I've got excellent night vision like a vampire.
Kate's pulse jumped, her senses sharpening in the dark.
I bet you're full of it, mister.
She shot back.
You have no idea. I'm about to blow it all. Oh, you want to test me on that? Want to see how full it is?
But her voice came out breathier than intended.
There you go. Liam has already talked.
Yeah.
Oh. Liam's voice was teasing, but layered with something heavier. His hand brushed
Heavy
against
cream.
hers, deliberate,
Yeah.
lingering just a beat too long before moving away. Nick cleared his throat, a sharp, possessive sound.
Well, maybe we should just call it a night.
Oh, come on, Justine chimed in, laughing. We're all adults here. What's a little darkness between friends? The tension was thick now, more than playful. It hummed, electric, in a small space. Kate found herself speaking before she could think.
What's the matter, boys? Scared of a little, hands-on competition?
Liam laughed low, stepping even closer.
Not even a little.
And then, unexpectedly, a flash of light.
Oh, come
Nick,
on, Nick. Dude.
holding up his phone's flashlight app, cut through the shadows, illuminating their flushed faces and hungry eyes.
Nice try.
Nick said roughly, his gaze pinned on Liam, then shifting to Kate. His jaw tightened, his free hand curling around her waist with a quiet, commanding strength.
But I don't share.
I've heard that before.
The air snapped with tension. I don't know what you're talking about. Liam's smile was slow and dangerous.
Oh, we'll see how long that lasts.
Justine let out a breathy laugh, raising her wine glass to like a toast. Oh, boys, it's going to be a very fun ride. And I'm going to be on top.
Oh.
The storm rumbled outside, the lights still dead, and in the flickering glow of Nick's phone, the four of them stood, so close, so ready to combust. And the night, well, it was far from over. The storm outside howled, rattling the kitchen windows and making the walls hum. Inside, with only the pale glow of Nick's phone casting shadows, the air felt thick, humid with anticipation, and the heavy scent of wine, cream, and something moister.
Sorry, I was ate a
You
little
got a
too
little
much.
too excited. You got a little too excited there.
Kate's breath hitched as Nick's arm tightened around her waist, grounding
Fire
her,
burning in here.
but also making her pulse hammer like a drum. His grip was strong, possessive, fingers digging into her hip with the kind of restraint that only promised so much more. Liam stepped closer, eyes gleaming in the dim light, catching every flicker of movement between them. His lips quirked in a slow, dangerous smile, his voice low and edged with wicked intent.
Gotta say, Red, you don't look like you mind being claimed.
Kate's cheeks burned, but her eyes didn't waver.
I don't get claimed. I choose.
Oh, burn! Justine purred, her laughter dark and delicious as she leaned back against the counter, swirling the wine in her glass. She does have claws when she wants to, and they're ouchy. Liam's gaze darted to Justine, lingering on the curve of her mouth, her long neck, the teasing arch of her unibrow.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Oh no, Justine replied smoothly, voice dripping with heat. I like to bite a little. I like a little bite.
It's more than a little bite, just saying.
A tense silence followed, the air vibrating with unspoken challenges. Kate pulled herself free of Nick's grip with a breathless laugh, pushing her hair back from her flushed face.
Okay, you two. Cut it out. We're supposed to be cooking here.
Cooking.
Liam teased, licking a smear of chocolate from his thumb, slow and deliberate.
I
Like
thought
a
we were
4-year-old.
already simmering there, sweet cheeks.
Justine scoffed, but her eyes sparkled. She grabbed a berry from the cutting board and popped it into her mouth with a sultry smirk. You wish. Kate was trying to focus, truly, but the low lights, the crackling storm, the two men circling like sharks, and Justine's relentless teasing were making it damn near impossible. Nick seemed to sense it too. His eyes caught hers, dark and heavy with meaning.
This is a bad idea.
He muttered, stepping in close again, shielding her from Liam's relentless stare. Kate's breath came quicker, but she held her gaze, voice low.
Oh, yeah. Why does it feel so good?
Nick's jaw clenched, his hand rising to brush a loose strand of hair from her face, knuckles trailing softly down her cheek.
'Cause, woman, you're playing with fire.
A crash of thunder boomed outside, and suddenly the room was plunged into complete darkness. Nick's phone light flickered out without warning. Apparently, he forgot to pay the bill.
Damn it.
Didn't
Dead
charge it.
battery.
He growled. There was a moment of disorienting silence. Everyone froze, caught in the dark.
Well,
Liam's voice cut through like velvet and smoke. Closer now.
looks like it's going to be hands-on from here.
Justine's laughter came from somewhere near the fridge, wicked and breathy. Oh, this is interesting. Kate fumbled on the counter, her fingers brushing cool metal and something soft. A hand. Her heart raced as she whispered.
Who?
Oh, yeah, it's me. That's not my hand.
Liam breathed, his hand closing gently around hers, his thumb stroking slow, hot circles against her palm.
Don't be scared, Red.
Kate's body tensed, every nerve raw and electric.
I'm not scared.
She whispered back, barely audible. And she wasn't, but damn, she was alive. Behind her, she felt Nick shift himself, a low, warning rumble in his chest as he moved between them again, his breath hot in her ear.
Enough.
Liam didn't step back.
What's the matter, Chef? You afraid you'll lose your grip?
Nick's hand slid around Kate's waist again, firmer this time, his fingers pressing in like a brand.
No, I'm reminding you who's in charge here.
For a beat, no one spoke, just the storm outside and the ragged sound of breathing in the pitch black. Then Justine's voice, low and teasing, sliced through the tension like a blade. God, you two are ridiculous. All this testosterone and no one's actually taking their shot.
On my face? What?
On my face.
Oh, God.
Liam chuckled, but there was steel under the humor.
Ladies first.
Kate let out a shaky laugh, stepped back to create distance, feeling the heat of both men still clinging to her skin.
I'm done with games for tonight.
Justine moved closer, finding Kate's hand in the dark and squeezing it gently. You sure? I could use a little more playtime. Kate shivered but stood firm, finding her resolve.
We've got work tomorrow. If we don't sleep, we're going to regret it.
Nick exhaled hard, the tension in his shoulders finally easing.
She's right. Let's just wrap it up.
For a
And-
moment longer, Liam stood still, his breath soft in the quiet, like Jason. Before he stepped back, giving a lazy mock bow, though no one could see it.
As you wish, boss. Say. Yes, as you wish, boss.
It's a damn shame, Justine muttered, grabbing her wine glass one last time. I was just getting warmed up. You can't believe the moisture in here. Kate let out a long breath she didn't realize she had been holding.
Oh, tomorrow.
She promised, her voice shaking slightly.
We'll pick this up tomorrow. Oh,
As they gathered their things and filed out into the rain, the storm still raging, no one said what they were all thinking. Tomorrow, no one's walking away untouched.
my goodness. This one is this is very spicy.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
spicy.
My goodness.
Spicy meatball. Chapter 4. Turning up the heat. The next morning dawned, humid and hazy, with the kind of sticky air that clung to your skin and made everything feel like Texas. I mean, heavier. Kate arrived at the tender table early, but she wasn't the first. Nick was already there, sleeves rolled up, forearms flexing as he unloaded crates of fresh produce at the back door.
Morning.
She called, trying to keep her tone light, but her voice came out breathier than she meant. Nick looked up, his eyes locking onto hers with a sharpness that made her pulse jump.
Morning.
He replied, his voice low and thick.
Sleep okay?
Kate swallowed hard. She knew exactly what he was asking without
Oh, she
asking.
swallowed all right.
She slept at all after last night's little power outage, in the way that Liam's fingers had lingered on hers, the way Nick's grip had been almost bruising in its possessiveness.
Oh, yeah.
She lied, moving past him and forcing herself to focus on the crates.
And, you?
He gave her a long, lingering look.
Sure, darling.
The door creaked open behind them, and Justine sauntered in, sunglasses perched high on her head and a wicked grin already in place.
Well, well, early birds. Did you two decide to work out some of that tension from last night?
Kate felt her cheeks flush instantly.
Oh, Jesus, Justine.
Don't Jesus Justine me.
Justine cut in, tossing her bag onto the counter and shimmying out of her jacket.
That kitchen was soaked in hormones and other kind of fluids. Don't act like I'm the only one that noticed.
Nick smirked but said nothing, busying himself with stacking crates, though his shoulders were very tense. And then the door banged open again, and in walked that son of a bitch, Liam. Sunglasses, cocky smirk, and all the swagger in the world. Well, look at this crew, he drawled, eyeing each one of them like he was already imagining stripping them down.
What?
Bright-eyed, and what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, right, desperate. Kate shot him a glare.
It is 8 a.m., Liam. Tone it down.
He laughed low and easy and moved closer, too close, his hand brushing along Kate's lower back as he passed her to grab a coffee mug. You want to tone it down, Reg? You're going to have to stop looking at me like that. Kate's breath caught. She hadn't even realized she was looking at him, watching the way his shirt clung to his chest, damp from the heat outside, the way his hair fell just a little messy over his forehead, because, well, he had more like a tin head because he was bald underneath. Nick's jaw flexed, the coffee pot slamming down a little harder than necessary as he muttered,
Knock it off, Liam.
Liam, unbothered, leaned back against the counter, sipping his coffee with a lazy grin. Touchy balls. Justine slid back in beside Kate, voice low and teasing.
I love it when the boys get territorial.
Okay.
Kate said loudly, clapping her hands to break the spell.
We've got a full day ahead. New menu items to test, a prep schedule to finalize, actual work, remember?
Liam gave her a slow up and down that made her knees weak, despite herself. You're the boss, he said, voice dripping with suggestion. I'll do whatever you say, Mommy.
Mommy.
Kate tried to hold
Mommy.
his gaze, tried to stay cool, but the air between them practically crackled. The kitchen exploded into motion after that, chopping, searing, plating, but the tension didn't go anywhere. In fact, it only grew larger and larger. Every time Kate leaned over the prep table, she felt Liam's eyes on her, hungry, heavy. Every time Nick brushed past her, his touch lingered a little longer than necessary, like a silent promise that hadn't quite been fulfilled. And Justine, she was the chaos agent in the middle of it all.
Hey, Nick.
Justine called, spinning around with a tray of raw shrimp.
Think you could give me a hand? Or maybe both hands?
Nick gave her a look, exasperated but amused.
You need help with shrimp? Oh, I don't need it.
Justine smirked, eyes glinting.
But it's always nice to share your load.
Liam let out a bark of laughter, tossing the towel over his shoulder. I'll swear you're worse than me.
Oh, I'm not worse. I'm better.
Kate shook her head, her knife flashing as she diced fresh herbs. Try not to think about the weight of the 3 pairs of eyes on her, measuring her, teasing her, wanting her. She
Wow.
was losing her grip. By mid-afternoon, the heat was sweltering, the air conditioning barely keeping up as they worked, bodies slick with sweat, clothes clinging in all the right and wrong places.
Oh, what's it smell?
William sidled up next to Kate at the grill, his voice
I didn't know we
low.
were having fish.
That ain't shrimp. You look like you could use a little cooling off. How about you just get rid of some of those clothes?
Kate's breath hitched as she grabbed a towel, dunked it in ice water, and draped it over the back of her neck, slowly, deliberately. The chill hit her skin like a shock, but the way Liam's fingers brushed her collarbone made her shiver for an entirely different reason. When Nick's voice snapped from across the kitchen, sharp and dark.
Liam.
Liam just grinned, eyes never leaving Kate's as he leaned in, his breath hot on her ear.
Better step in, boss, before I steal your girl.
Kate spun, eyes blazing.
Enough.
Her voice echoed through the kitchen, stopping everything cold.
Both of you. Enough.
A long, tense silence. Then Justine's sly little smile broke it like a knife through the butter.
You sure you want them to stop, Katie? Because from where I'm standing, this is just starting to get good.
Kate opened her mouth to reply, but the words caught in her throat as Liam's hand brushed her waist and Nick stepped in closer, his eyes dark and heavy with promise. For a long, breathless beat, none of them moved, and Kate realized with a jolt of pure, unfiltered want, Justine might be right. This was only just beginning. As the afternoon sun climbed higher, blazing through the streaked kitchen windows, making every inch of the tender table feel like a pressure cooker. The overhead fans churned lazily, but they were no match for the heat, and certainly not for the slow burn tension radiating between the 4 of them. Kate wiped a sheen of sweat from her brow, catching her reflection in the brushed steel of the fridge. Her hair was a little wild, cheeks flushed, shirt clinging in ways she knew weren't just from the temperature. She caught Liam watching her in that reflection, his gaze hooded, hungry, and felt a jolt of electricity shoot down her spine.
Eyes up, Liam.
She called over her shoulder, trying to keep it light, but her voice wavered, just enough to give her away. Liam smirked, slow and lazy, not even bothering to look away.
No promises, Red.
Nick's jaw clenched where he was kneading dough at the counter, his knuckles white as he worked it over with a force that looked just a little aggressive.
You've got prep to finish.
He snapped, not looking up. Well, Liam didn't miss a beat.
Multitasking, boss. I'm very good at it. Okay.
Justine, who'd been quietly assembling garnish trays, let out a soft, wicked laugh.
Same. I bet you are too.
Kate bit down hard on her lip to keep from laughing because, damn, the kitchen had become an oven in every possible way.
Let's focus, people.
She tried, stepping back and nearly bumping into Nick, who had closed the distance between them without her noticing. His hand went instinctively to her hip to steady her, his fingers curling into the fabric of her jeans, holding her just a beat too long before he let go. His eyes locked onto hers, hot and unguarded, his voice low.
You good?
Kate's breath caught. There was no mistaking the question beneath the question. Was she okay after last night? After Liam's constant teasing pressure? After the way Nick himself had gripped her, claimed her, made her melt even without words, and then took her home and wrapped her up like a pretzel, and pounded her like dog meat.
Oh, I'm fine.
She breathed, her gaze lingering too long on his mouth. Nick's eyes darkened, his thumb traced a slow, deliberate circle on her hip before he finally reluctantly stepped back. She wasn't sure if it was relief or disappointment that washed through her. They kept working, but the kitchen became a chessboard, every move measured and calculated, every look a silent provocation. Justine moved with effortless grace, her tight tank top riding up as she reached for a high shelf, the sliver of skin exposed, making Liam's gaze flicker before he caught Kate watching him and smirked, unrepentant.
Mm-hmm.
What? He teased. Don't pretend you're not checking that piece ass out, too.
Kate rolled her eyes but couldn't hide the flush creeping up her neck.
I'm assessing her technique.
Justine turned slowly, a knowing smile playing on her lips as she leaned in close, her voice silky.
Oh, Katie. Anytime you want a personal demo, you know where to find me.
Kate's throat went dry, and Liam's laugh echoed low and rich across the room. Nick slammed a pan onto the stovetop and a little harder than necessary. By the time the dinner rush prep was done, the four of them were dripping with sweat and high on adrenaline. The air was thick with the scent of roasted garlic, seared steak, herbs, and something else entirely. A tension that had been simmering all day and now felt ready to boil over.
All righty.
Katie declared, pulling her apron off and tossing it onto the counter.
I need a break before I spontaneously combust.
Seconded.
Justin agreed, fanning herself dramatically.
And not just from the heat.
Nick and Liam exchanged a look, the challenge hanging unspoken between them, like a live wire.
We should lock up early tonight,
Liam's voice said, low and teasing.
Maybe unwind together.
Nick crossed his arms, his biceps flexing tight.
Well, that ain't happening.
Justine sauntered over, placing her hand on Nick's arm with a playful smirk.
Oh, come on, Chef. You're no fun.
Kate pressed her palms flat on the counter, heart thudding hard. She wanted to say no, to shut this whole game down before it went too far, but every nerve in her body was lit up. She was a live wire, and the words died on her tongue.
We could have a drink.
She said finally, surprising even herself. Liam's grin stretched wider, eyes locking onto hers like a predator who had just caught scent of blood.
That's what I'm
Ew.
talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nick's eyes were on her, too dark, unreadable, but full of heat. He said nothing, but the muscle in his jaw twitched, his hand flexing at his side. They closed up shop with a quiet efficiency, but there was nothing casual about the way they kept stealing glances, brushing too close, lingering too long. Kate could feel it with every step she took. Tonight wasn't over. Not even close. And as they filed out into the sultry evening, the tension between them humming like a live wire, she realized something with a dizzy, dangerous thrill. Whatever happened next, they were all in it now.
Mm-hmm. My goodness.
Oof.
Wow, we introduced Liam and it gets very spicy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, let's get into it. Chapter 5. The game heats up. The loft above the tender table was nothing fancy. Exposed brick, mismatched furniture, a few lingering scents of rosemary and smoke from the restaurant below. But tonight, it might as well have been a 5-star suite. Kate perched on the edge of the oversized couch, a sweating glass of wine in her hand, her eyes flicking between Nick, Liam, and Justine, as the four of them settled into an uneasy kind of rhythm. It had started simple enough. Justine had raided the wine rack. Liam had cranked up the playlist, low, sultry, just loud enough to blur the sound of their own breath. And Nick, ever the practical one, had lit candles and grabbed a tray of leftovers to soak up the alcohol. But none of them were really focused on the food.
Oh, they were focused on the food, all right. Just not what was on the plate.
Exactly.
Kate could feel it, the way every look lingered too long. Every laugh felt a little too sharp. Every brush of fingers or shoulder sparked a live wire. The air was thick with it.
So,
Justine drawled, her eyes glinting wickedly as she curled up on the arm of the couch, legs stretched out languidly.
are we really going to sit here and pretend this is just a casual drink between coworkers?
Kate laughed, nervously at first, but there was no use pretending. Oh, what did you have in mind? Liam sat forward, elbows on his knees, flashing that grin that was pure sin.
Oh, I was thinking a little game.
Nick rolled his eyes, but his voice was rough with something he couldn't hide.
Liam, no.
Liam ignored him, eyes locked on Kate.
Truth or dare?
Justine let out a throaty laugh.
God, are we 16?
Oh, why not?
Liam shot back, that lazy, dangerous smile spreading.
We've already been dancing around each other for days. Let's just cut the crap.
Kate's pulse thudded. She looked at Nick, who shook his head slightly, eyes dark. But when his gaze met hers, something else flickered there. Curiosity, maybe even a challenge. Oh, all right, Kate said finally, taking a long sip of wine. Fine, but no stupid dares. Liam's grin was all teeth.
But no promises.
They started tame, too tame, like they were all afraid to cross the invisible line they'd been skirting for days. Nick dared Justine to do her best Gordon Ramsay impression, which had them all laughing until they were breathless. It's raw!
It's raw.
You stupid Muppet.
And Kate, she made Liam confess his worst kitchen disaster, which, to no one's surprise, involved fire. Justine dared Kate to take a shot of bourbon straight from the bottle, which she did, her throat burning, her eyes watering as Liam clapped and whooped.
You go, girl. You go.
But it didn't stay innocent for too long.
All right, man.
Liam said, voice low and dripping with heat.
The truth or the dare?
Kate hesitated, her heart hammering. She could feel Nick's eyes on her, almost hear his unspoken warning. Truth, she said finally, a little too breathless. Liam's smile turned slow and dangerous.
So who in this room do you think about when you're touching yourself alone?
The room went dead quiet. Kate's eyes widened, and she let out a shaky laugh. Oh, wow. Subtle. He just waited, eyes burning into her, and now everyone was watching her. Nick, his jaw clenched tight, Justine, her smile sharp and knowing. Kate swallowed hard.
She did. You don't want to swallow salt.
All softly, you get overwhelmed.
Oh, that's not an answer I'm giving.
Oh, honey.
Justine purred, leaning in close, her lips brushing Kate's ear.
That is an answer.
Kate shivered, her skin prickling with goosebumps. Nick cleared his throat sharply, standing and grabbing another bottle of wine, the cork popping loud in the tense silence.
We're done with this game.
But no one moved. Liam leaned back, eyes still locked on Kate.
Are you scared, boss?
Nick's eyes darkened, and he set the wine bottle down a little too hard.
No,
He said, his voice low and rough.
just done playing.
Justine laughed softly, rising to her feet and stretching, her shirt riding up just enough to draw Liam's gaze like a magnet.
Oh, such a shame. I was so getting into it. Oh, I'm sorry. That was
That's fine. That works too. That
Kate.
could have gone either way.
Kate stood too, her pulse pounding, the air feeling thick and heavy. She could taste it, that knife edge of tension, the almost of it all. Oh, I think, she said, her voice shaking just a little. We should all cool off before someone says or does something, stupid. Liam's eyes never left hers.
Oh, sweetheart, that's just way too late.
For a long, breathless moment, no one moved. The music throbbed low, the candlelight flickered, and the four of them just stood there, caught in something none of them could quite untangle. And Kate knew this wasn't over, not by a long shot. The loft had taken on a different kind of glow. The flicker of candles danced along the brick walls, throwing shadows that felt too close, too intimate. The music hummed low, something bluesy and smooth, and every breath seemed to catch in the thickening air. Kate sat cross-legged on the couch, nursing her wine, her fingers tracing the rim of the glass absently. Her skin was warm, not just from the wine or the heat of the day, but from the way Nick's gaze lingered, heavy and possessive, from the way Liam sprawled across the rug like a predator at rest, his smirk curling every time their eyes met. And then there was Justine, lounging like a cat, eyes glinting with wicked amusement, watching all of it like she was already 2 steps ahead of them.
Her leg up in the air, licking herself.
Meow. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. Liam tipped his glass back, swirling swirling the last of his drink, and let out a low whistle.
So, are we going to just pretend we're 4 co-workers? Or are we just going to admit there's something way more interesting going on here, like really deep and,
Hard.
Hard. Kate's stomach flipped, but she forced a light laugh. Oh, define interesting. He sat up, eyes gleaming.
Oh, come on, Red. You feel it. Don't play coy.
Nick's jaw tightened, and he downed a gulp of his drink, his eyes dark and stormy.
You don't know when to shut up, do you?
Justine laughed, low and throaty, curling one leg beneath it.
Oh, let him stir the pot, Nick. It's more fun that way.
Kate tried to keep her tone casual, but her voice wavered. Are we playing the game or not? Liam's smile turned downright predatory.
Oh, sweetheart, we're playing Truth or Dare, Red. Come on.
Kate's pulse hammered in her throat. She glanced at Nick, who met her gaze with something hot and raw, and then back at Liam, who was practically daring her with his eyes. Truth, she said, her voice a little breathless. Liam's grin was slow, dangerous.
All right, so what's your biggest fantasy, and does it involve anyone in this room?
Hey, didn't he already try this?
He did. He's getting lame with his tries.
He is. The air snapped tight, so thick it was hard to breathe. Kate's mouth went dry.
That's a shame.
She let out a shaky laugh, buying time. Oh, that's bold,
You knew what you were signing up for.
Liam murmured, eyes locked on hers. She looked down at her glass, fingers tight around the stem. Oh, this is dangerous, she thought. But her body was already answering, her skin flushed, every nerve lit up. She started, glancing up at Nick, his eyes locked onto hers, dark and intense, and her breath hitched. I'm not sure I should answer that.
That is an answer.
Justine leaned forward, her
Repeat.
smile slow and delicious.
That is an answer, babe.
Liam's eyes burned hotter.
I'll take that as a yes.
Nick muttered a curse under his breath, standing abruptly and heading to the small kitchenette. The clink of glass on glass broke the silence, sharp and jarring.
Your turn, Kate.
Justine said smoothly, breaking the tension but not easing it. Her gaze was playful but full of heat.
Truth or dare?
Kate hesitated, her pulse wild. Oh, dare. Justine's grin sharpened.
Kiss whoever you've been thinking about the most tonight.
Kate's breath caught. She looked down, fingers gripping the cushion hard, her mind spinning. Liam's eyes glittered with anticipation. Nick stood stiff and tense by the counter.
I bet he did.
I bet he did. He was very stiff. And the weight of the moment pressed down on her, thick and undeniable. Slowly, she rose to her feet. Her knees a little shaky. I'm getting a little shaky, apparently. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
There's a whole lot of sinning going on in here, y'all.
About to be.
Slowly, she rose to her feet, her knees a little shaky. She crossed the room, the silence almost deafening, and stopped just short of Nick. His eyes burned into hers, dark and hungry, his chest rising and falling hard. She reached up, her fingers curling into his shirt, and whispered, I don't want to pretend anymore.
But I like playing pretend. You dress up in a little outfit, it's nice.
And then she kissed him, deep, slow, claiming. Nick's glass hit the counter with a sharp clatter, and he grabbed her, pulling her close, his hands fisting in her hair. Wow.
Well, that's before the night's over.
His mouth urgent and rough, like he'd been waiting forever for this. Behind them, Justine let out a low, appreciative laugh.
Well, that answers that.
Liam's voice was rough but full of dark amusement.
Well, I didn't see that coming.
Kate broke the kiss, her breathing ragged, her lips tingling, and met Nick's eyes, hot, fierce, and possessive. But then, with a slow, daring glance over her shoulder, she caught Liam's eye too and smiled. "Your turn," she murmured, her voice shaking but bold. And just like that, the tension crackled even hotter, the room thick with something wild, something waiting to explode.
Your pants.
No one was pretending now.
No.
Wow.
Huh.
My goodness.
My goodness.
This is
I
wow.
don't feel chilly anymore. I've been cold all evening. I ain't now. Chapter 6. Divide and Conquer. The air was loft with thick, humming with something primal, something electric. After Kate's daring kiss with Nick, no one moved at first, just long, heavy breaths and looks that burned like fire. And then slowly, like they were reading from the same unspoken script, Justine reached for Kate, her fingers brushing her arm with a feather-light touch that made Kate shiver. "Well," Justine purred, her eyes locked onto Kate's. "You're full of surprises tonight." Kate's breath hitched as Justine leaned in, her lips just a whisper away.
I could see the theme about you.
Kate managed, her voice shaky, caught between nerves and raw desire. Justine didn't answer. She let her lips do the talking, claiming Kate's in a deep, sultry kiss that was nothing like a quick brush from earlier. This was slow, teasing, full of delicious promise. Kate gasped softly as Justine's hand slid up her side, fingertips grazing bare skin, drawing her in deeper. Nick's eyes darkened as he watched, his fists clenching at his sides, breath ragged. Beside him, Liam let out a low, appreciative laugh, eyes shimmering with wicked amusement.
God damn.
Liam muttered, voice rough.
This view.
Justine broke the kiss, her breath hot against Kate's neck, and glanced back at the men, her eyes glinting with mischief. "What's the matter, boys? Cat got your tongue?" Nick didn't answer. He moved in behind Kate, his hands finding her waist, his lips brushing her ear. Sizzy, you doing, Nick?
Okay. Careful.
He murmured, his voice low and dangerous.
Woman, you keep teasing me like that, you might not like how what happens next.
Kate's body arched instinctively against him, a soft moan escaping her lips as his hands roamed lower, possessive and sure. But Justine wasn't done. She turned Kate back toward her, her hands sliding up and around, cupping her face, tilting it just right before kissing her again. Deeper this time, until they were both gasping. Liam stepped closer now, too, sliding his arms around Justine's waist, nipping at her neck, his breath hot against her skin.
You're playing with fire, sweetheart.
Justine laughed, breathless. "I know." For a long, heady moment, the four of them were tangled together, hands and mouths, soft sighs and low groans, skin pressed to skin. Kate felt Nick's lips at her neck, Justine's tongue tracing her collarbone, Liam's fingers brushing along her bare side, and she was floating, caught between them all.
Holy cow.
But then Nick's hand closed firmly around Kate's wrist, pulling her back, his eyes burning with intent.
Come on, woman. Come with me right now.
He rasped, his voice low and rough. Liam caught on quickly, his grip tightening around Justine's waist.
Looks like it's time to split up the fun.
Justine's eyes sparkled with heat as she looked between them all, then turned to Kate, brushing a final, lingering kiss across her lips. Enjoy yourself, babe. Kate, dazed and breathless, followed Nick as he led her down the hall to one of the bedrooms. The door shut behind them with a quiet, heavy click, sealing them off from everybody else. Nick pressed her back against the door in an instant, his hands bracketing her face, his breath hot and ragged.
Jesus, Kate.
He growled, eyes blazing.
Do you have any idea what you do to me?
She barely had... Sorry, I got the voice in my head. She barely had time to answer before his mouth was on hers, hungry, rough, claiming. His hands roamed freely now, sliding under her clothes, tugging fabric away, peeling her down to nothing but bare, flushed skin. His need was palpable, raw, and Kate met him with equal hunger, her nails scraping down his back, pulling him closer, closer, until there was no space left between them. Meanwhile, across the loft, Liam led Justine into the other bedroom, kicking the door shut behind them, his hands already sliding under her shirt, his mouth finding hers in a kiss that was all teeth and heat. Wouldn't that hurt?
Yeah, it would.
Sweetheart,
Ow!
I had no idea.
My braces are locked up with yours.
I had no idea that I could kiss your mouth under this shirt. You would tease me all damn night.
Liam growled against her lips, peeling her shirt over her head, tossing it aside.
It's time to pay the piper.
Justine laughed, breathless, her fingers fumbling with his belt as she backed toward the bed. I could take care of whatever you got, Chef.
Oh, you'll take it all right.
Liam promised, pushing her back onto the bed, crawling over her like a man possessed, his mouth finding her throat, collarbone, moving lower, each kiss a brand on her skin.
And you's gonna love every second of me.
She gasped, her head falling back, eyes fluttering shut, as his hands and mouth worked her like a ugly stripper on a pole. Their magic, teasing her higher and higher until she was writhing beneath him, her breath coming in ragged pants.
Why is she wearing
Not
ragged
shorts?
pants?
Ow.
Not shorts? Pants are prison. Back in the other room, Nick had Kate on the bed now, her head flamed out across the pillows.
Her head flamed out? What are you doing to her?
I said her hair.
Oh.
Like it's flaming!
Flaming. So wonderful.
She'll look like a Japanese fan with hair. Her skin flushed and glowing in the low light. He hovered over her, eyes dark and intense, every muscle tight with restraints.
I've wanted you like this for so long.
He murmured, brushing a strand of hair from her face, his thumb tracing her swollen lower lip.
And I'm not going to rush it because I'll just explode.
Kate shivered, her hands skimming down his chest, her voice a breathless whisper.
Oh, then don't.
Nick took his time, every kiss and touch deliberate, every caress meant to make her tremble. to draw out every last gasp and moan until she was begging for more. He worshipped her body like he had never get the chance again.
Wow.
Slow, deep, thorough. And when he finally got inside her,
Wow.
it was with a groan that spoke of days,
God.
weeks, and months of, frustration. They moved together, a rhythm that started slow and built higher, faster, until it was all consuming. The room filled with the sounds of skin on skin,
Yeah, just
gasp
like
and
playing the
cry-
drums.
gasps and cries and whispered names. Oh, that's what happens when you call her somebody else's name. And when they shattered together, it was like falling and flying all at once. Wild, perfect, everything. In the other room, Liam and Justine were no less tangled, their bodies slick with sweat, their breath mingling in ragged pants.
Oh my God.
Again with the pants.
Pants of prison.
Pants of prison. Liam's hands gripped her hands tight, his mouth pressed to her ear as he
Wow.
got inside her, deep and relentless, pushing her higher with every thrust until she was crying out, nails raking down his back.
Mine.
He growled, and Justine answered with a gasp, her body arching into his, her release crashing over her like a tidal wave. They collapsed together after, tangled and breathless, the air thick with the scent of sex and satisfaction.
Wow. God.
Hours later, the loft was quiet again. The only sounds, the soft rise and fall of steady breaths, the flicker of candlelight still casting lazy shadows on the wall. Kate lay curled against Nick, her head on his chest, her fingers stroking lazily up and down her spine. Across the hall, Liam and Justine lay tangled together, lost in their own post-storm haze.
It's like a game of Twister.
It's like a game of Twister. That's not right foot yellow. Ow! It was quiet, peaceful. But under it all, a slow smile curved Kate's lips as she drifted off to sleep, because deep down, she knew tonight had just only opened the door. Whatever came next, it was
dear.
going to be wild.
Oh dear. Wow.
The morning afterglow. Sunlight was creeping in through the big loft windows, throwing soft golden beams across the rumpled sheets and bare skin. The once pristine living room was an absolute mess. Clothes were strewn everywhere, empty wine glasses scattered on the coffee table, and that unmistakable heady scent of bodies still lingering in the air. You know, hurts a lot whenever you kill them all.
Oh God.
Kate stirred first, blinking against the light, her body deliciously sore in all the right places. She lay curled against Nick, his chest rising and falling beneath her cheek, one big hand resting lazily on her hip. She smiled to herself, eyes fluttering closed for a second as she let the warmth of him sink in.
Morning.
She mumbled, her voice a little raspy. Nick's hand slid up, his fingers tracing lazy circles along her spine.
Hey, Red.
He murmured, his voice thick and gravelly from sleep.
You alive?
She let out a low, sleepy laugh.
Barely.
He chuckled, brushing a kiss to her hair.
You have a good night?
Kate tilted her head to look up at him, her eyes sparkling.
Understatement of the century.
Nick grinned, his other hand slipping to cup her other cheek.
You damn right.
Across the hall, muffled laughter drifted through the half-open door of the other bedroom. Kate's brow arched, and she bit her lip to keep from laughing.
Sounds like they're awake.
She whispered. Nick groaned, burying his face in her neck.
Dear Lord, Liam's too damn loud.
Like you weren't.
Teased her fingers.
That's different.
He pulled back just enough to shoot her a mock glare.
You saying I wasn't worth the noise?
Oh, you were.
She purred, dragging her nails lightly down his chest.
Trust me, you were.
From the other room came Justine's unmistakable voice, lilting and teasing.
I swear to God, Liam, if you don't let me get in there and take a shit first.
It's not my fault you wore me out, babe. Liam's rough laugh cut through, followed by the sound of a playful shove. Oh, Kate and Nick both dissolved into laughter, shaking their heads.
I can't believe we're living in a rom-com.
Kate murmured, snuggling closer. Nick kissed the top of her head, his voice low.
Oh, this is way dirtier.
Sound of footsteps patted down the hall, and a moment later Justine appeared in the doorway, wrapped in a sheet, her hair wild and eyes sparkling with mischief.
Good morning, lovebirds.
She sang, leaning lazily against the door frame.
Oh, morning.
Kate called back, stretching with a happy sigh.
Did you sleep well?
Justine grinned, eyes dancing.
Oh, honey, I didn't do much sleeping.
She glanced at Nick, who smirked and tightened his hold on Kate.
Looks like you two didn't either.
Nick chuckled.
Not much point in wasting the night.
Justine blew a kiss and disappeared towards the bathroom, humming as she went to go take a dump. Kate laid her head back down with a sigh.
Oh, I could stay like this forever.
Here, let me pull the blankets over your head. You'll get
Same, but maybe we should turn the fan on.
Nick agreed, brushing his finger on her arm.
But we should probably check on the damage, like a plunger, and maybe eat something.
Kate groaned dramatically.
Oh, yeah. Oh, food. Yes, definitely.
Just then, Liam's voice rang out from the kitchen. Coffee's on, you lazy bastards. Better get out here and get it all before I drink it or pour it all over myself, because I like it when it's hot.
Oh, God.
Nick laughed, shaking his head.
I swear that bitch is insufferable.
Kate smirked, pushing herself up and reaching for his shirt.
Oh, come on, chef. Let's go face the music.
By the time they made it to the kitchen, Liam was leaning against the counter in nothing but a pair of pajama pants that...
Pants or prison?
But it was really weird looking pajama pants. We've never seen small kittens on them.
Why'd they have SpongeBob on there?
I don't know. It's so weird. Cradling a mug and looking way too smug for someone who just spent the night tangled up in sheets. Morning, sunshine. He teased, eyeing Nick's bare chest and Kate's oversized boobs. Borrowed shirt boobs. Borrowed shirt boobs.
BEWBS. Boobs.
Coffee first, talk later.
Kate muttered, grabbing a mug and pouring herself a generous helping.
Where's Justine?
Sour. She pooped all over herself and she needed to get it all off of her. Kate nearly spat on her coffee, and Nick barked a laugh, shaking his head.
Jesus Christ, you have no filter.
Not even pretending to. I mean, she's so nasty.
But that's the way she likes it.
Justine reappeared a few minutes later, hair damp, wearing one of Liam's shirts and satisfied smile. She slid onto the stool next to Kate, resting the head on her chin. And
So what's the plan for today? Recovery brunch?
Kate groaned.
Yes, and all the carbs.
Liam leaned in, his eyes gleaming. Well, we should cook something epic, like a reward ourselves for the last night as we were just getting all frisky like and just smacking it all around. You would not believe Justine. She was just taking it like a champ. I had never seen her smile so bright. Nick shook his head, grabbing some eggs from the fridge.
I swear to God, if you say meat fest, I swear.
Meat fest? Ooh, I like the meat fest. Liam interrupted with a grin, earning a sharp elbow from Justine. Because she got it all the way in there.
God. He's dead. He is done. He is done.
They moved around the kitchen together. Sorry.
Shizzy broke himself.
He did. He broke himself.
It was your laugh that killed me. Oh. Kate laughed, sipping her coffee.
Honestly, that sounds perfect.
They moved around the kitchen together, Nick and Liam cracking eggs and frying bacon, Justine slicing fruit, Kate sneaking bites of toasted bread and laughing when Nick swatted her hand away. It was warm, easy, and so different from the fiery chaos of the night before, but the tension still crackled under the surface, sparking in stolen glances and teasing touches. At one point, Nick slipped behind Kate, wrapping his arms around her waist, his lips brushing her ear, and whispered.
You know we're not done, right?
She shivered, tilting her head to meet his gaze.
Oh, not even close.
Across the room, Liam caught Justine's eye and smirked, brushing a kiss to her shoulder. Round 2 later, 'cause I am so warmed up right now. She arched a brow, smiling slow.
Bitch, you couldn't handle me.
Oh, challenge accepted, sweet cheeks. By the time brunch hit the table, steaming platters of bacon, eggs, fresh fruit, buttery toast, and coffee refills. As they poured it all over Liam, the air was thick with satisfaction and anticipation. They all sat back, full, happy, tangled together on the couch, legs draped over each other, soft laughter bubbling up between them. Kate glanced around, her heart full, her body still humming.
I don't know what we are right now,
She murmured.
but whatever it is, I don't want it to stop.
Nick kissed her temple. Liam squeezed Justine's hand and balls, and the whole room seemed to exhale, warm and content. Whatever came next, they were ready.
Just need some butter on that.
Yes.
Just a little butter on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think we have time for one more chapter.
Okay.
Do you
End it.
think?
End it on a
Getting
good
pretty
note.
close.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can.
We can save it for next time.
Yeah, well, let's
Yeah.
save it for next time.
Save it
Let's
for
do
next
that.
time. We're at chapter 8.
Yeah, chapter 8. That's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I think they're getting a kick out of this.
Who?
The chat.
I hope
Ah.
so.
I hope so.
Oh,
I'm feeling far more comfortable reading Scintillating.
Yeah, because it's not too bad. I mean,
No,
No.
it's not too bad. Yeah.
It's like right on the edge.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right
yeah.
there. Right there. If it was any further, I would be.
I'd have
Don't
to
do that while
sign
I'm
off.
drinking.
That's what I'd have to do.
Oh my gosh. I'm
And take
here
Diva
trying
with
to-
me.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to let you with some of that. Like, okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Wow.
you're
Bye,
on your-
Shizzy.
Be
Bye,
back
chat.
in 2 minutes.
See you in 2 minutes.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
We need to put shit.
Well,
Oh.
that's what your imagination's for.
Oh yeah.
Valor asked a question. I have not even. I need to look for that.
Oh, you haven't found it yet?
No.
Is it on Discord? Maybe.
Is it?
Maybe.
You might have emailed it to you.
Oh, I never checked that email.
She never checks anything.
Don't.
She doesn't.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I can attest to all of her.
I'm quirky.
Yeah.
I'm quirky.
Quirky.
Nothing
Quirky.
wrong with that. Nothing wrong
No.
with that. We like the quirky. The
Thank
quirky and the
goodness.
fun. Everybody, thank you so much for coming by tonight. And we'll probably cut this thing off here. What do you got? You got don't you have a paint string? Or did you
I did
say-
it today. In fact, it was very wholesome and sweet. Yeah,
I'm
I had.
sorry.
No,
was-
you're good. As
This
I
is a
wanted to-
drastic departure from what
Yeah,
you
this
did
is a
earlier today.
drastic departure. It was very wholesome and sweet. I had
Oh.
my my little junior
Junior
associate with me.
associate. Yeah.
She was painting as I was painting. We were both painting together, and it was very sweet.
Oh,
And then I
I'll
do
have-
this.
now I'll have
So-
to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
because-
So then you'll be able to see the where the talent came from. Because it wasn't from Daddy. It wasn't.
No. You
Yeah.
got plenty of talent, Storm.
Yeah, he has other
Well,
talents.
I'm talented in other areas.
Yeah, he's got other talents. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. My and now you see why we're ending early tonight.
As he dies.
Oh, Lord Almighty!
All the sinning, all the sinning.
I tell you what, folks, there's a whole lot of sinning going on this very channel. Yes, it is.
Oh,
Fills the room with its indignation. Yes.
oh yeah. I'm gonna be sending all you fine people over there. Go check out the baby goats.
Oh,
Baby goats is the thing.
Oh,
to
it's
go
baby
check
goat
out.
time.
Yeah, baby goat time.
baby goat
Now you want
time.
to talk about some clean, wholesome fun. Baby goats is the thing that you want to see.
It is. It is.
And with that, everybody have
Cleanse
a-
your palate.
Yeah.
well, cleanse your palate, and it is very wholesome. So everybody have a wonderful night. We'll see you again very soon.
Peace.
Oh, I know what you want. Come feel this sensation. Sliding smooth and low like a secret invitation. So smooth. Every tone whisper soft. Can you feel it? The undertow. Pull me closer, baby. You know where I wanna go. Ooh, feel it, baby, nice and slow. Ooh, yeah, I let your rhythm consume my soul. is. Ooh, feel it, baby, nice and slow. Yeah.
Put it down.